Welcome. We've got some thrilling Arsenal news lined up for you, so stay tuned until the end to catch all the latest updates. And don't forget to leave 300 likes to keep us motivated in bringing you the latest Arsenal updates. Arsenal delivered an emphatic statement of intent in the 2026 FA Community Shield, dismantling Manchester City 3-0 at the Principality Stadium in Cardiff on August 16th. The reigning Premier League champions needed a mere 23 seconds to open the scoring through Ricardo Calafiri, who finished coolly after a shrewd through ball from young Miles Lewis-Skelly, capitalizing on hesitant City defending. Kai Havertz then doubled the lead before the half-hour with a close-range header following intelligent work by new signing Christos Tsolis, before captain Martin Odegaard sealed the victory with a delightful solo effort shortly after the interval, skipping past Josko Gvardiol, deceiving Gianluigi Donnarumma with a clever dummy and rolling the ball into an empty net. Tsolis, the £34 million acquisition from Club Brugge, made an immediate impression on his competitive debut with 2 assists, sharp movement and a clear grasp of Mikel Arteta's patterns, while Bruno Guimaraes, signed from Newcastle United, slotted seamlessly into midfield with progressive passing and defensive solidity before making way for Declan Rice. The collective display, underpinned by a midfield now widely regarded as among Europe's strongest, radiated the hunger and intensity of champions intent on retaining their title. City, under new manager Enzo Maresca, looked short of cohesion in the post-Guardiola era, leaving the rest of the division with much to ponder as the new campaign approaches. Rio Ferdinand speak out about Arsenal agree deal for Ezri Konsa from Aston Villa. Arsenal have reached an agreement to sign defender Ezri Konsa from Aston Villa in a deal worth £51 million plus add-ons. The 28-year-old is expected to undergo a medical before completing his move to the Emirates Stadium. The transfer has emerged somewhat unexpectedly in the closing stages of the 2026 summer window. The need for defensive reinforcements at Arsenal has become pressing. William Saliba faces an extended spell on the sidelines after aggravating a back injury while on World Cup duty with France, while Jurrien Timber continues his recovery from a long-term groin problem. Konsa'S arrival is intended to provide immediate depth to Mikel Arteta's squad. Konsa is a versatile defender capable of operating at both centre-back and right-back. The England international has been a consistent performer in the Premier League over 7 seasons with Aston Villa, playing a key role in their Europa League triumph last season and their 4th-place finish that secured Champions League football. His profile aligns closely with the qualities Arteta values. Konsa is solid in one-on-one situations, composed under pressure and reliable in possession. At 28, he is expected to offer 4 to 5 years of dependable, high-quality service. Former Manchester United defender Rio Ferdinand has described the £51 million plus bonuses agreement for Ezri Konsa as one of the most sensible pieces of business in the 2026 summer market. "I think this is a magnificent signing," he said. "He's a solid, really good Premier League defender." David Ornstein is saying £51 million plus add-ons. "I think that's an absolute steal in today's market. He's 28 years old, so a minimum of 4 or 5 years of really solid, dependable service. He provides vital cover in 2 areas, centre-back and right-back." The fee represents a compromise after Villa had initially sought closer to £60 million. With 2 years remaining on Konsa'S contract at Villa Park, the Midlands club's negotiating position was not as strong as it once was. Arsenal have secured a ready-made, experienced player at what is widely regarded as a competitive price. For Aston Villa, the departure is a significant blow. Konsa has been one of their most consistent and experienced players, even serving as vice-captain under Unai Emery. Losing such an important figure adds to the challenge facing Villa as they look to rebuild their defence ahead of a new Premier League campaign and a return to the Champions League. Konsa has not featured in any of Villa's pre-season matches after being granted an extended break following the World Cup, so he will require a short period to reach full match fitness. Once Saliba and Timber return, competition for places in Arsenal's backline will intensify, with Konsa likely to serve primarily as reliable rotation and cover. Overall, the signing reflects Arsenal's pragmatic approach as defending Premier League champions. By bringing in an experienced, versatile and immediately available defender, the Gunners have further strengthened the foundations of their squad as they prepare to defend their title in the 2026-27 season. Ethan Nwanery's association with Arsenal remains far from concluded. The highly rated academy graduate continues to feature prominently in the club's long-term planning, despite the intense competition for places within Mikel Arteta's first-team squad. At just 19 years of age, Nwanery has already demonstrated a level of technical quality, composure, and football intelligence that has convinced the coaching staff and technical directors that he possesses the attributes required to succeed at the highest level. Arsenal's hierarchy views him not merely as a promising youngster, but as a genuine long-term asset capable of contributing meaningfully to the first team in the seasons ahead. Arsenal have made it clear this summer that their preferred course of action is a carefully selected loan move, designed to afford the 19-year-old regular senior football rather than risk losing him on a permanent basis. The club's recruitment and development teams have spent considerable time evaluating potential destinations, prioritizing environments that will offer consistent minutes, tactical compatibility, and the opportunity to play in competitive matches week after week. The emphasis is firmly on development. Arsenal want Nwanery to experience the physical and mental demands of senior football away from the intense spotlight of the Emirates, while retaining full control over his future. Having impressed during pre-season with mature performances and a couple of well-taken goals, Nwanery nevertheless found himself omitted from the matchday squad for the Community Shield victory over Manchester City. That decision, while disappointing for the player, was widely interpreted within the club as a reflection of squad depth rather than any lack of belief in his ability. Such a decision underscores the reality of a crowded attacking midfield and wide areas, where established internationals currently hold the upper hand. Players of proven Premier League and international pedigree currently occupy the primary roles, leaving limited space for even the most talented academy products to break through on a consistent basis in the immediate term. Club executives, including Chief Executive Richard Garlick, have emphasized that they are not actively seeking to sell their homegrown talents, yet remain open to the right opportunity should it serve both player and club. This measured stance reflects Arsenal's broader philosophy under the current ownership and sporting structure, protecting and nurturing academy talent while remaining pragmatic about the realities of squad management. Selling a player of Nwanery's potential on a permanent basis would only be considered under exceptional circumstances, and even then only if the financial and sporting benefits clearly outweighed the long-term value of keeping him at the club. A temporary transfer would allow Nwanery to accumulate valuable minutes, refine his game in a competitive environment, and return better equipped for the demands of Premier League and Champions League football. Regular match exposure is regarded as essential at this stage of his development. On loan, he would gain experience in different tactical systems, learn how to adapt to varying levels of physical intensity, and build the confidence that comes from being a regular starter rather than a peripheral squad member. Arsenal's coaching staff believe that such an experience would accelerate his progress significantly, enabling him to return with greater maturity and a sharper understanding of what is required at elite level. Interest from several European sides has been noted, yet Arsenal's stance prioritizes development over an immediate financial return, reflecting a measured and patient approach typical of the club's modern recruitment philosophy. Clubs across Europe have monitored Nwanery's progress closely, attracted by his versatility, left-footed creativity, and ability to influence games in tight spaces. However, Arsenal remains selective. Any loan arrangement would need to include appropriate safeguards regarding playing time, positional usage, and the player's overall development pathway. The club has no interest in simply moving him out for the sake of reducing numbers. Every decision is framed around what best serves Nwanery's growth and Arsenal's future ambitions. In addition to the sporting considerations, there is a clear cultural and institutional commitment to players who have come through the Hale End Academy system. Nwanery represents the latest in a line of homegrown talents in whom the club has invested significant time and resources. Keeping pathways open for such players is seen as fundamental to Arsenal's identity and long-term sustainability. While the first-team environment under Arteta is highly competitive and results-driven, the club continues to balance short-term squad needs with a longer-term vision that includes integrating academy graduates when the timing is right. In short, the door at the Emirates remains firmly open, Nwaneri's journey with Arsenal is very much still in progress. Whether through a carefully chosen loan this season or a continued presence around the first-team squad, the club is determined to manage his development with patience and purpose. For a player of his age and ability, the coming years will be critical, and Arsenal are intent on ensuring that those years are spent in an environment that maximizes his potential while keeping him connected to the club that has nurtured him from a young age. Thanks for watching Arsenal Time. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Continue following the Gunners' journey with us, and see you in the next video. Come on, you Gunners!